gosh, I know where I'm going for my third seat. Nah, okay, cool. Before we actually get into this like little chit chat and my thoughts as to how I went about picking my options, first of all, because once again I switched up this time, my bad. And then also how I feel with the choice that I've been given. Please do make sure that we get this little admin out the way. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, give me a follow on Instagram, and sign up to my mailing list, because I dish out, quite frankly, if I do say so myself, pretty good content for everybody. So cool. Okay, let's get into it. So I don't even know where to begin. Like, oh, how do I tell this story? How do I tell this story? I think we got to go back to the beginning. So when I was applying for training contracts, I somewhere along the way got it into my head that I wanted to become a project finance lawyer. And when I kind of sit back and reflect on the different types of research that I was doing, the firms that I was looking at, I think what actually happened was I came across a deal. So let me actually even see if I can find this deal online still. It probably should still be online. It was a pretty interesting deal, to be honest. I found out that a firm had done some work on a landmark regasification project in Ghana, where I'm from. And it was in Tema, where I happen to live in Ghana. So when I saw that, I said, oh, this kind of work is interesting. This is a really nice way to kind of combine my interest with commercial law with my love for my country. And oh, this is like all amazing, blah, 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 blah. So I kind of like got hooked on that particular deal, which, like I said, was actually a very interesting deal. I spoke to some of the lawyers that worked on that deal, found out that it was actually a project finance deal. And from then on, I was like, yeah, I want to do project finance. So in my applications and literally right up until I was sent my first seat kind of list to say, oh, select what your options were, project finance was what I was going to do. I was going to go and do project finance all the way. Then when that list was initially sent to me, so literally just before we joined the firm, we were sent this like options of what all the different practice areas were that we were allowed to train in. And then you have to pick 3 options at the firm that I'm at and order them in terms of your preference. I just had this bright idea to like go and speak to people that I already knew at the firm and just, I guess, double check what it was that I thought I wanted. So there was a couple of trainees who I knew and was just like, you know, I kind of want to do Africa work. I think I like transactional work. I don't think I like contentious. And I don't particularly think I want to be on deals that last very, very long. I kind of like doing varied work where, you know, the deals are coming, they're coming. And the person kind of looked at me and they were like, and you said you want to do project finance? And I was like, yeah, like, isn't that where all the Africa work is with like the really quick deals? And they were just like, yeah, no, in project finance, like deals take years. So that was the first time that I'd ever actually even really discovered that. And after that, I then kind of sat back and decided that, okay, finance is definitely still what I want to try. And at the firm that I'm at, you have to do a finance anyway, which I guess works well in my favor, to be honest. So I said, okay, let me change my options. And then I ended up putting down debt finance as my first choice. I believe I put down IP, intellectual property, as my second choice. And I think the reason I did that is because when I was in my vacation scheme back in 2018, I sat in the IP team. I'd already kind of heard that because it was a small team and because it's quite a niche practice area, they generally don't put first seaters in there anyway. But I just figured, let me register my interest in the area so that at least when it comes to a time where they may consider me for that practice area, they know that I've been interested in it, right? So I put that down second, and then I put down project finance as my third seat. And the reason why I decided to still put that down, even though I'd kind of been told that it's not necessarily what I thought it was going to be, was because I'm the kind of person who, I do listen to advice, and I think there is a lot of wisdom in speaking to people who have come before you, and taking what they tell you to kind of, I guess, structure how you want to do things. But at the same time, I also like to experience things for myself. So I think for me, I was kind of just like, I'm still going to put it down as an option, but maybe just not as my first option, because if I do get put into that practice area, then at least I can discover for myself whether I will actually like it or not. Anyway, seat rotation kind of email comes round, and lo and behold, I'm putting my first seat. So I'm putting debt finance. Now, if you want to know a bit more about how I found debt finance, go check out, I think I've done 2 videos on it. So like I did a 3-month review and I did a 6-month review. So go check out those videos and you'll find out all about the different types of work that I did, how I kind of managed my work-life balance, what the hours were like, everything you kind of think of. I've already spoken about that, so go and check out those videos. Cool. Now it comes time to pick my second seat. Again, same process. Like, you'll get given a list, you got to pick down 3 options. You can change your options if you want to, which I think is quite nice, because I think, and it's definitely something that happened to me, as time goes on, you learn more things about different departments, and you start to realize that your skill set might be better suited to different areas than what you kind of originally once thought. So I quite like the fact that we get the opportunity to like change up our areas if you want to. And I did change up my areas. Just before we had to submit our second seat choices, I spoke to an associate who, again, I kind of explained, you know, I really like the idea of Africa work. I really like the idea of transactional deals. I've sat in debt finance for 6 months now, and I actually really like finance work. So what do you kind of think I should do next? And the person was like, oh, maybe you would like capital markets then, because it's obviously similar in the sense that it's finance work. So the type of work that trainees have to do in that department is going to be very similar to what you've been doing. But it's kind of different in the sense that, you know, there may be a couple more Africa clients here. So maybe that's just more something that you would enjoy. So I thought, okay, so I ended up putting down capital markets first. And then I still put down IP second, because again, like I said before, I wanted to keep my interest registered. And then I put down IPAF as third again. And lo and behold, I got my first choice again. I got capital markets as my second seat. Very, very thankful that that's what I got, because again, I did really, really enjoy it. And that associate that I spoke to was completely right. Like, it was the type of work that I think suited my skill set. It was finance work that I enjoyed, and I got to kind of work with the clients that I wanted to work with. Fab. Get to third seat options now. And again, I've switched up what it is that I want to do. Literally every time we've come to pick seats, like, I have just spoken to different people who have just opened my mind to different avenues that could potentially exist for me. So as I said from the beginning, you know, I've never really been like a contentious law person. I've kind of always openly said this. And it's not that I've done any work experience in contentious law at all, but I just don't really feel like litigation suits me as an individual. Or arbitration as well. It's not just litigation, but I've just never really felt like that suits me as an individual. And I do some pro bono work where I am doing contentious work. So I've not completely like never done contentious work. I just didn't really want to do it as a seat. So I wasn't going to put that down as an option. And kind of looking at the rest of the list, I thought, do you know what? I could put down another finance seat. I could decide to now put down project finance as my first choice, because I've not done it before. But I kind of sat back and I just thought to myself, you're going into your third seat, Steph. You're at a stage where I think it's probably time to push yourself and to challenge yourself. And I think a great place to push yourself would be in corporate, because just from the people that I've spoken to, both trainees, associates and partners, corporate is a team where if you think you've been busy before, you've not been busy till you've sat in a corporate team. The nature of the way deals are in private equity and mergers and acquisitions, like, it's just so fast paced. And you have to be on the ball. It's fast paced. You need to be accurate with what you're doing. So you can't let your quality slip. You need to be able to keep on top of the different deals that you're on. Like, I think for me, that sounded like it was a really good, I guess, development for me. So I decided to put down corporate PE first. Then, as usual, I kept in my little IP because, you know, I thought I would like it. So I put that down second. And then I put down corporate M&A, mergers and acquisitions, as my third seat, because I just thought, do you know what? I want to try corporate. And y'all want to guess what I got for my third seat? Drum roll, please. I wish I had a little drum. Let me just bang on my pillow. I was given my first choice again. I got corporate PE. So I'm going to be in private equity for the next 6 months. We start at the end of February, so in a couple of weeks. But yeah, I'm gonna be a PE trainee and I'm excited. I'll be honest, I'm excited. I think, like I said from the beginning, for me, I think this is going to be a really interesting seat. I've not done any corporate work before, so it's completely brand new. And it's kind of like seeing the transactions that I've been doing, but from the other side. So far, I've always been working on the financing side of transactions, i.e. if a company decides they want to buy another company, for example, how are they doing that funding? That element there, those are the kind of deals I've been working on. But now I think I'm going to be able to work on like the bigger picture. So when a company wants to buy another company, well, all the little things that are going to be involved there, like power of attorney, board resolution, shareholder resolutions, all that little stuff. And I think this is going to give me a really good opportunity to get to know different industries and different clients really well. because from what I've heard, there's a ton of due diligence. So there's a ton of reading for me to do about different companies, which should be good, should be interesting. So yeah, that is just like a really quick update to just say I'm going into PE for my next seat. If there's anyone who has any questions about what PE is like, I would say drop them down below, because I'm gonna, like I'm doing with my capital market seat and like I did with my debt finance seat, I'm going to talk a little bit about the different kind of typical trainee tasks that I will be doing. And I'll also try and put together a little glossary if you think that will be helpful as well. So if you are someone who is interested in corporate, whether it's private equity or M&A, drop me a little comment down below. Please do make sure that if you like this kind of little really short and sharp chit chat content, you like, comment and subscribe. Give me a follow on Instagram as well, because I put some more content out over there, and I'll be back soon with another video.